All right, big news going on in the world of crypto. But before I do that, I gotta really get to some, you know, the usual things, which is that this video is not investment advice. Any references to past performance does not guarantee future results. Errors, mistakes, oversights are completely possible. Capital loss is a likely outcome, meaning that, hey, things can happen. You're not guaranteed to make a profit based on anything that I say in this video, and truthfully, any of the material that is put out by my company, ATG Digital Media. I, the owners, contractors, employees, associates of ATG Digital Media, need to slow down, Paul. Chill out. Exciting news on crypto and Bitcoin, but hey, breathe. The owners, contractors, employees, associates of ATG Digital Media own, trade, transact in the investments that are mentioned. And speaking of ATG Digital Media, a quick plug for our business, ATG Digital Media. We provide paid subscriptions for $9.99. $9.99, not $999. Those are the other guys. They charge that kind of money. We charge small amounts of money per month. I mean, well, it's a good deal. Yeah, so you get focus on innovation and growth, which, most people we don't recommend oil stocks, for example. If you're wondering what that means, we focus on things like artificial intelligence, robotics, sort of new world stocks and ideas. So we have model portfolios in which we have stocks in crypto, and then we do updates, market strategy commentary, and you want to kind of check it out and see, well, what is this all about? What does it sound like? What does it look like? What do they work on? Well, hey, my Substack, paulmanpilly.substack.com, will give you a good indication of what you would get if you subscribe to any of our tiers. We have silver, gold, platinum, diamonds, and then we have a purple tier. Because sometimes, people make so much money that they want to be regal and purple. All right. Getting on to the big news of the day. Truthfully, I just saw it. I was planning to do a completely different video, but I was like, okay, I gotta address it because it is something that has been so clear that was going to happen, and now it's happened, which is that Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which for those of you who don't know, it trades on the ticker symbol GBTC. This is the oldest, most accessible form of Bitcoin that was available. For example, in the massive 2017 run, I would say, Bitcoin was kind of still hard to buy, but you could go, and as long as your broker allowed you to buy over-the-counter stocks, you could go buy GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and you got the benefit of Bitcoin. And so it's really, in some ways, the granddaddy of non-Bitcoin investments, GBTC. Now, over the last couple of years, as a result of all the shenanigans, all the troubles, crypto winter, all bear market, everything you can talk about, GBTC had fallen to a discount at one point. I definitely wrote about this in my Substack. Plug for it. It's free. You can go check it out. Where the discount to the underlying Bitcoin. Remember, this is a trust. Kind of think of it like a big box with Bitcoin in it. So it's got a lot of Bitcoin, and relative to the amount of Bitcoin that is in this box, it was trading at a 50% discount. So in other words, if Bitcoin's at 30,000, you're buying it at 15,000. And I pointed out, which is it's inevitable. And I told people, I believe it's inevitable at some point in time that someone would end up getting a approval in the United States for a Bitcoin ETF. I felt it was inevitable. I couldn't tell you exactly when, but it was inevitable because it just seemed obvious in the sense that there was no real basis for the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is the part of the government that regulates investment markets. There was nothing behind their objection behind it. And so I felt it was inevitable. And I said that when that happened, then shortly after, and I believe that that is going to unfold, things would like change. So Dean put up the headline showing that today, Grayscale, so the actual folks that issue GBTC, they took the SEC to court and they won. The SEC said, the court said the SEC had no real grounds to delay or to reject the application to turn GBTC, which was previously a trust, into an ETF. And why does that matter? Well, it matters because as an ETF, people can now arbitrage it. People can now say, oh, it trades at a, by the way, put this up now, Dean, GBTC trades about a 25% discount. So it's no longer like the extraordinary, incredible bargain that it was, but it's still a pretty good deal, 25%. You're getting like a quarter off relative to buying Bitcoin, in your crypto account, still 25%. And I said it is inevitable that once anyone, there's so many applications for Bitcoin ETFs. Kathy Wood's ARK Innovation has one. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, they have one. There's VanEck, which is a very large ETF provider. They have one. There's so many. It was inevitable that somebody was going to get it. And I felt that when that happened, within some short period of time, maybe it's going to take a week, maybe it's going to take two, but GBTC, and you can put this up again, Dean, put up the thing showing the discount. You'll see the arrow there, the green arrow. It's a near 25% discount. That discount is just going to go, it is going to be gone. That's like almost like free money, right? 25%, it'll just go. It'll go back to par. Why? Because GBTC, once it becomes an ETF, I should actually say GBTC before it becomes an ETF, because markets anticipate, markets look forward. Even before that, what's going to happen? Well, people are like, well, an ETF is coming. And when an ETF comes, hey, that dude Paul Mampilli said that people can arbitrage everything. In other words, people will start to be like, oh, I can get a discount. So they will start to arbitrage between the price of Bitcoin and GBTC. In other words, they'll go and buy GBTC and short Bitcoin, and that way they make this guaranteed arbitrage profit, right? So that process is going to start to begin now that it's clear that somewhere over the next, 1-3 months, an ETF is going to be approved. And with that, GBTC will start to trade in sort of like in balance with Bitcoin. So the discount will disappear. So it's still there, and I wanted to point this out. But then there's actually other crypto trusts issued by Grayscale that are trading also at discounts. For example, Grayscale's Ethereum Trust, ticker symbol ETHE. Dean put up that thing, and you see the green arrow, discount. I really like discoint. It's kind of cute because it's discount. Anyway, never mind. ETHE, 30% discount. Well, hey, what are people going to think? Like, hey, well, if a Bitcoin ETF is coming, well, then, hey, what is Grayscale going to do with ETHE? Really hard to figure out. Wow, I wonder if they will apply to make that an ETF. And if that happens, that same arbitrage process between the underlying cryptocurrency and this trust means that this gap will be bridged. What does it mean for the sort of overall bigger crypto market? Now that we're, moving on from, just, hey, what does it mean to have a Bitcoin ETF in a way that matters, that you can do something about it? Have this video have some use. I don't want to waste your time, right? 25%, 30%, that's real, right? Remember, no guarantees, not investment advice. Yeah, it's on you if it doesn't work out. There's no guarantees. But nonetheless, you'd have to say the odds look pretty good that this discount on the. But getting back to what I was trying to get to, which is that what is the broader meaning for crypto? What does this do? Well, arguably, and I've seen a number of estimates that are out there. I think there's a dude named Thomas Lee. He argued that there was a potential audience for a Bitcoin ETF in something like $1 trillion between individuals who don't want to own crypto, but want access and exposure to Bitcoin, businesses that can't own crypto because accounting rules, various different laws, etc., don't allow to have them, but they could buy an ETF. In other words, there would be a flood of money that would start to push into Bitcoin through the ETF. And if it pushes through to Bitcoin, well, some of that money is also going to be like, oh, well, it's going to like push out into broader crypto. So in my opinion, what this does, the SEC judgment does, well, a few things. Number one, I believe that the gap, the discount on the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, the Ethereum Bitcoin Trust, and Grayscale has others like the Litecoin Trust, etc. I mean, we don't have those recommended in our portfolios, but a lot of those gaps are all just going to be bridged. So that's takeaway number one. Second, a Bitcoin ETF is definitely going to bring money into the crypto sphere. It definitely changes the demand and supply sort of balance and dynamics. In other words, we are likely to see a period of time where there is going to be more demand than there is supply. Why? Well, on the demand side, because many people can't own crypto in its native form. Laws don't allow it, accounting rules don't allow it, etc. But almost everyone can go buy an ETF. So that's one. In other words, it really opens the demand side of crypto out. The second is related to some of the things that I've mentioned to you earlier, which is the halving is coming in April 2024, just as the demand side is picking up in a very big way through this. So you've got potentially a demand shock meeting a supply shock. How high could Bitcoin go? And then what would it do to the rest of crypto? Well, as money comes into crypto, that's liquidity that allows people to buy and sell. It also makes people start to anticipate even higher prices. Bottom line, good things. Good things, I believe, are going to unfold from here because we've got now this new source of demand coming for crypto. Its first impact will be really on some of these things, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, ETHE, other trusts as they become ETFs. And as the ETFs become reality, then money will flood into the ETFs, which then have to gain exposure to Bitcoin. They have to gain exposure to various crypto. So that now starts to flow money into the crypto sphere. Yeah, I mean, this is big. This is going to be huge. And I'll just mention this as a last note. It's also the second major reversal that the government and the SEC has had. The first one was with XRP, right? I mean, so, that's a big deal. So that's a huge plus. Now we've got this. This is another huge plus. So things are lining up in a very big way for crypto for the rest of 2023 and 2024. I mentioned two stocks, GBTC and ETHE, just so you know. You can't buy it in many places because these are over-the-counter traded, so you'd have to make sure you're at a broker that allowed for it. But those are some of the immediate sort of like beneficiaries. But looking out even 6 and 12 months, it's pretty much like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of crypto are going to see a liquidity surge that I believe is going to bring this crypto winter and crypto bear market to an end. All right, that's the video for this week. I'll be back next week. Come back. This is Paul saying bye.